You know, I was watching Fox News the other day, and then I saw this headline, and I almost fell out of my chair. So, Rob, if you could put that headline up. Okay, so Jesse Waters, I think that's a Fox News personality, says everybody knows that wearing a Chicago Bulls hat means you're an MS-13. Okay, Rob, let's go to Exhibit B, please.
I know where this is going.
All right, so Exhibit B will show you I believe this is episode 3 or 4. So, you know, I just want to know if you have anything to say, anything to tell us. But this is evidence, this is proof to me that you are in MS-13. So do you have anything to say? Are you allowed to say anything? Do you want to?
I mean, does this have anything to do with, like...
We got the flavors that make you dance. Spicy tales from France to Japan. Every bite a wild romance. Join us now in our bright little den. Bruh, in the kitchen where stories are told. Spill the beans about dishes so bold. Every taste a journey unfold.
Bruh Podcast, BRUH podcast.com. Tony B, I got to warn you, man. If you keep showing bourbon, is that bourbon?
It is.
But if you keep showing me small batch bourbons like that, you're going to get a small batch.
That's a single barrel. That's some local Michigan too. Wow,
Could we call that a small batch?
No, single barrel.
Okay.
This ain't even. Yeah, this ain't batch. This is just one barrel. These are some YouTubers that they're huge actually, bourbon junkies, and then they have their own is in it's by us, Freeland, Michigan, dude, and
really?
they currently source. They don't distill. They source their in like aged barrels and they do make batch stuff, but this is a single barrel. This is actually like I had to look up the mash bill. The recipe, you know, the mash bill, and that's from Heaven Hill Distillery. It's a Kentucky barrel. Yo, Rob, Father, you drink bourbon? What's your drink of choice? What's your go-to, or is it all the things?
I usually go with like an Irish whiskey.
Oh, nice, dude.
But yeah, I like a good bourbon too.
Irish is nice. Irish is like. I feel like it's way more approachable than bourbon. Like it's like like kind of softer corners wise. Not in a bad. That's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's nice, man. That's awesome. Cool. Yeah. I'm a tequila, a bourbon, all the whiskey.
I do love tequila too. Yeah,
mezcal.
Tequila, yeah.
Episode 6. I have to have my little tagline here. Call off the search. That was my call off. Every episode I put a little tagline of it. Episode 6, call off the search. The boys are here. The boys are together. It's Monday night. First and foremost, okay? I checked the weather today here in Michigan. Rob doesn't know anything about this one here. He's in Arizona, so it's probably 98 to 100 at this point right now. Did we guys hit 100 yet? And when you guys hit 100?
We did hit. We already hit 100.
That's what I figured.
Of course you did.
Yeah, 100 before May. That's what we shoot for in Arizona. Here in Michigan, though, I looked. Today was, I think, just peaking around 60s, and then I look at the next 7 days. 65, 66, 68. It's a little bit of wind, a little bit of rain, but the 60s are here. Yeah. That means spring is here, which means it's kind of an emotional time for me. It's time to put the cardigans away for the spring. Yeah. So what I want to do is I just want to have a moment of silence, if we could, for cardigan season. If we could just please, moment of silence. All right, thank you. We'll see you next year. Thank you, cardigans.
Damn,
so I put the cardigan on as sort of just like as a farewell. You know, it's like that. it's just like that one last shag right before, you break up. It's like that. It's just sort of, but then maybe I'll see you next winter. So, yeah, so a little moment of silence. Cardigan season's over, but it introduces other, now we're getting into,
Where are you going to put your hands if you don't got front pockets?
I put them down.
It looks good when you put them in the front pockets.
I know that's a move there. When you get that,
yeah,
you show that
distinguished gentleman.
The only problem with that though is that you do that too much and your cardigan gets stretched out. Then you get your cardigan down to your knees. So you got to watch that too much. But anyway, we'll cover that when we start our fashion podcast about that'll be covered there. But next, now Tony, I don't mean to put you on the spot. I had some startling news that came across here, and I was going to approach it when you were here. I told you, Rob, I got to spend the day before Easter with Tony. We embraced, we drank, we laughed, we cried. All of the things. We cried. You don't. We cried. Just say we cried. So then this news came to me, and I was watching Fox News the other day, and then I saw this headline, and I almost fell out of my chair. So Rob, if you could put that headline up. Okay, so Jesse Waters, I think that's a Fox News personality, says everybody knows that wearing a Chicago Bulls hat means you're an MS-13. Okay, Rob, let's go to Exhibit B, please.
I know where this is going.
All right, so Exhibit B will show you I believe this is episode 3 or 4. So, I just want to know if you have anything to say, anything to tell us. But this is evidence, this is proof to me that you are in MS-13. So do you have anything to say? Are you allowed to say anything? Do you want to?
I mean, does this have anything to do with, at the family thing, they also said something about, they were like, oh, I saw the Bulls hat. I got questioned when we embraced at your house.
Yeah, I mean,
the family was, suspect, too.
There was whispers before you got there about it.
They were on to you early.
Yeah, so we want to tread lightly because it's not like we discovered you were in some secret baking club. That's MS-13, so we're not going to with you. But
when you got mob ties,
I know. But there's my beef is. If you're an MS-13, I don't, that's fine. Here's where my beef is though. They have up to globally 60,000 members, 10,000 here in the U.S. Where's the likes, the subscribes, and the views, bro? I mean, if you're gonna get in, at least do you have a group chat or something that you could share?
It's not like that, Mike.
Okay, all right. Well, can you get us a little bump? Can you get us an MS-13 bump, a little bump?
I grew up in the Jordan era. I'm a Bulls fan, dog.
Hey, I'm just saying what I heard on Fox News. Listen, that's all I'm going off of. So, if you have a Bulls hat on, you're an MS-13. So I just want to I'm giving you an opportunity now.
My guy Vinny's got a Bulls hat. I got him one. I was like, here's your first Bulls hat.
They take Vinny too in MS-13?
They didn't even have to break him in. What do they call that?
Initiation.
Yeah.
Initiation. My follow-up question is you're Italian, so how did you get an MS-13? That's my other question, but we'll deal with that later.
You know my wife's descent.
Well, see, Rob, this started out as a joke. Busted. Carrie got him in. I see what's going on. All right. Not denying it. I didn't hear a denial. But anyway, all right, we'll move along before I don't want to approach that subject too much.
Did you notice today is not... I'm glad I'm not wearing the same fit that I wore in episode 3. It's close. I only have 4 fits, so the chances are pretty high.
The chances of me making it. I got on Joe Rogan on episode 4. Now I'm joking around with MS-13 so the chances of me making it to episode 7 are slim and none, or any of us. for that regard. So we'll move on. We don't want to get too much of that attention. We don't want any of that smoke. So let's go into top 5. So I don't think we got a graphic. I don't think we need a graphic. We'll just kind of just push it in there. But this is I know this is a food podcast. I just went on a cruise. We talked a little bit about on the last one. This is not anything to do with food. It is just something that I needed to get out there. So this is the top 5 worst fits that I saw while cruising. All right. This is these are real too. There's no way I generated here. We just to be clear, this is a gentleman who decided. Again, we're protecting identities here, but if you're watching this, you know who you are, right? We're going with. I think this is like a cool duck kind of theme. So the duck's cruising, and this guy's cruising. And then I just wanted to point out, Rob, go ahead and zoom in. Let's go to 5.3. That's okay. All right. Let's go to number 4. I don't know. The quality might be good. You got to take these quick when you're on the cruise. Oh, there's a dinosaur.
It like kind of fits in with the carpet theme.
It does. It blends. There's a dinosaur eating. I think that's a cheeseburger it's eating. So I guess it is about food, right? So you got a. I think that's an azalea down there with a dinosaur eating a cheeseburger. Okay, let's go to number. What do we have next? What do we have? 4. Let's go to 3. Number 3. Ooh, go ahead, Rob. Zoom in on that. Let's get tight in on that. This is the whole outfit. So he's pairing.
Oh,
you see what I'm saying? I can
Yo. How do you even find kicks that match with that?
I don't know, but there is a guarantee that at some point this guy had sex on the cruise. At some point.
He's probably barefoot too.
And the phone. He's got the phone attachment on.
Oh yeah.
So, all right, let's go to number. What are we at? Number 2. Let's go to number 2 there.
Yep. All right. Right, here we go.
Now this guy. I mean, it's going with the flamingos. And if you zoom, go ahead and zoom on in there because I'm a little thrown off. Just go real tight. Let's go tight on that chain.
Oh, I see what it is.
Superman is in the building.
What?
Superman is in the building. All right. He needs a break too. He's around. He's saving the world, and you know he needs a Crown and Coke every once in a while.
This guy does not have kryptonite.
No kryptonite. Now this is where we go to number 1, and this one is going to throw you off a little bit because this was at karaoke. All right, so we go. Let's go to number 1. So I didn't. I'll have to edit out their identities in post. But I'm at karaoke and I say, "Well, there's my number 1," because he's rocking a fanny pack. Okay.
Yo.
But the joke's on me because Rob. Now go to the next one. Gucci game.
Yo.
My man threw a Gucci. He threw a Gucci fanny pack. So he had me beat. I was blown away by this. So he's number 1 at this point. So he was the worst, and then he turned it around. He threw it on me. That's probably what, a $3,000 leather fanny pack that he showed up in. Karaokeing.
How was his girl blending in with the light? I thought that was part of the whole everything. His partner, his duet partner, was also like. She said, "Oh, I'm gonna wear the fit that matches the light." Yeah, she had like a yellow dress. I couldn't keep my eyes off of that fanny pack. I've never seen a Gucci fanny pack, but there she is. See what I'm saying? Damn, dropped it in. I don't think that's counterfeit either. What were they singing? I mean, Tone, you're talking 12 Patrons at this point. I think we were at 12. Patron, lime, and ice. So I have no idea. You're lucky you got this picture, but
Yeah, so that's a top 5. That's at the cruise. I know that wasn't really food related, but I had to get that. I had to get that in. And then I think we're ready for. Let's go to call number 1. Let's go to listener calls, Rob.
All right. We are going to start off with Barry.
Hello, I am so happy I have a place where I can get my real food questions answered. I am dating this girl who loves to cook, and she is great, but she has this cat, Mr. Fuzzy. Mr. Fuzzy likes to eat the food on the counter. So one day I was over there, and the cat was eating a pudding pie she made. She then asked me if I wanted a piece. I had to take it. She is a pretty good cook. She is an amazing person, like wife material. And oh, by the way, is a... But the cat is either eating or licking all the food before it comes to my plate. What should I do?
So yeah, the cat. I have the script or the outline of that call, but the cat is taste testing everything before it comes to my plate. What should I do? Man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one because I'm not a big. I like dogs. I'm not a big cat person. And I've seen this where the cat's sort of all around the food. I've seen the cat. I've seen this before. Tone, what do you think if you're in this guy's situation? And I want you to take all. I want you to take all the factors in here. Outside of the scope of food. Let's take into consideration her merits. We'll say.
I hate to do this, but I got something that came to mind that's completely related to this. Can I tell you a quick story?
I hope it's the cat part because I don't want to hear the other part.
It is absolutely the cat part.
Okay.
We'll allow it.
All right, so I'll make the story short. My dad had an aunt, Zia, in Italy, Zia Renata, in Italy, and she lived in Genoa. And when I was a little kid, I was lucky enough to go on a trip with my family. We went to go see Italy, and we went to Zia Renata's house, and it was up on this mountain. You had to drive your car up the mountain in Genoa and get up to her house. And Zia Renata and Giorgio, her husband, they had kind of a little farm, bunch of little animals, not like a big didn't have a cattle ranch, just had maybe one or two of every animal type of thing. And Zia Renata, and in Genoa, that's Liguria, they're known for pesto. And Zia Renata made an amazing pesto sauce. It's the best basil in the world is right there with gnocchi, homemade gnocchi. And it was delicious. And I remember eating it, and I was a little kid, whatever. Meanwhile, animals all over, cats all up countertops doing their thing. As a little kid, I was like, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, this shit is gnocchi with the pesto was delicious. But my mom, then later as I grew up and them telling the story of the cats around, that shit is sick.
Yeah.
But not only, no judgment. I'm also I'm a dog person, but I love cats. I love all the animals. I don't own cats in my house because she's not feeling it. I am not all about the cats on the countertop. They're dusting away in their little litter box, and it's not like they're cleaning. They're good cleaners, but there's little bits and stuff in their little fingernails, and it's tasting the food too.
Yeah, it said that it was
Barry.
The cat was eating the pudding pie, so it's like a consistent thing that the food is good,
God.
but the food is good, but
The pesto with the gnocchi was so good, but
so are you willing to look past? I mean, that's family, but if are you willing to look past this if she's an incredible cook. I mean, do you look past the cat sitting like licking everything, and because she's like a cat person? Like, so what's your like if you're Barry, what do you tell him here? Do you just ride it out? Like, what do you?
I mean, the other part of his story is still lingering in my mind. It's like
it plays a factor. It plays a factor. I'll be honest with you. So,
like on one hand, and the other.
It's a choice you have to make here. I think I don't know, Rob. You want some input on this one? Like,
please.
Yeah, I not a big cat person.
But are you a person?
so we're so that.
Oh, is that what we were wondering?
I don't know.
Yeah. So Rob, tell us about that. How you feel about that? Tell us your opinions on that.
Well, not a big cat person.
Okay. So, will you look at the? Will you look past it? Like, can you look past it? Because I don't know. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. I think that. Here's my take, Barry. I have to take it from what's in the call, and I didn't see. She's a pretty good cook. That's what he said. She didn't say she's an amazing cook. Okay? So I think that's the deciding factor for me, that if she's an amazing cook and I'm willing to look past the cat, but if she is just a like a decent cook and the cat's sitting on everything, I'm going to have to pass, man. I'm just gonna have to pass. I think we're gonna have to move on. I can't have a cat. I just can't have it like looking at me, licking things, like eating before I. You brought up that there's feces and there's fecal matter, there's urine, but you're forgetting the fact that they're probably it probably just got done murdering a rodent outside, and that's still in its.
I mean, yeah.
That's still in its goatee. Like, it's probably
Rabies.
got. Yeah. So then you go and it's sucking on your Philly cheesesteak before it hits you. I'm gonna pass on this one. I think Barry. I think he should head for the hills.
Even if it's a human. I wouldn't want the human. It's separate from the. I mean, maybe that's a bad example. It's too on point.
Are you? Is that pun intended?
It wasn't, but now, as I said it.
How is that not on purpose?
How was that not on purpose, Tony? Come on.
But, yeah. Cats are cute. They, rub it. But, nah.
Hey,
Nah,
we got
sick, Barry.
We got asked last week, why aren't we grabbing another gear? We're grabbing another gear, boys. There's a couple more too to go. So.
Oh God.
All right. Well, I think that's it. I'm out. Rob, in or out? If you're Barry.
Yeah, I'm out.
All right. Tone, in or out?
Wait, this is kind of a mini smash or pass.
Mini smash or pass? I'm out.
Pass, dog.
0 for 3. Barry, head for the hills of Homestead. All right. Let's go to caller 2.
All right, this is
I didn't see
Gina.
that coming at all.
That's why we keep some. That's why we hide some of this stuff, Tone, because the reaction's the best.
All right, this is Gina from Arizona.
Hi, my name is Gina. I'm from Arizona. I'm calling regarding cocktails. I was out of regular sugar the other day when I was making a lemon drop martini. Could I possibly substitute brown sugar? Let me know what you think. Thanks, bro.
Let me first of all say thank you, Gina, for the call. I mean, I'm glad that you are a respectable female, not like that animal Barry up there in Homestead.
Jesus Christ.
So thank you, Gina, for bringing this show back to where it needs to be, and that's a nice, sensible call. So I think I'm going to pass that to the. I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to pass that to the in-house expert here. Tony, do you have an answer for that one?
No. Next question. Just play. Just play. No. That's a really good question. So, I have a good answer. I think she specified lemon. Like, so the question, there's kind of two parts in my head. Can you just substitute another sugar for another sugar in a cocktail? Of course you can. You can substitute any sort of sweetener for any sort of sweetener in any cocktail 100% all day. It just makes a new cocktail. That's the thing. It's going to make a different flavor profile. But then when she says brown sugar, I wouldn't. So lemon drop, like if you're doing a lemon drop, part of the lemon drop isn't just like the simple syrup that's in the cocktail. You'll, but you with granulated sugar, and granulated sugar is part of just like with a margarita, salt on the. If you do it, it's part of the cocktail. The salt enhances the drink. The lemon drop is sour. It's got lemon. It's got Cointreau. It's got simple syrup, vodka. But you need the in order to have the balance of the drink. It's just nice to have that sweet pop with the tart drink. So you can absolutely substitute brown sugar, but I would never do brown sugar in that drink. The closest thing I would do, it would be like Demerara sugar, which is kind of in between brown and white sugar. It has some molasses in it, but it has Demerara sugar has like I don't know exactly how they produce it, but the granulated sugar, there's no molasses in it. They clear that out. Brown sugar has molasses in it, and that's why it's brown, and that's why it has a different flavor profile. Demerara sugar is kind of the same as brown sugar, but it's less refined and it's more crystally. So you'll still get that texture if you're with the Demerara. And if you make it with a simple syrup, it'll just give it more of like a caramely flavor. But with a lemon drop, you want it to be a bright drink. So I think you would use a Demerara syrup or I guess a brown sugar syrup in more of like a dark spirit drink, like a whiskey or a rum drink, a dark rum drink. That would work really nice. It'd give it another layer of flavor.
Thank you for bringing some class to this
yeah
podcast, Gina. My goodness. All right, let's see caller. This is caller 3.
Yeah, this looks like Shaner in Michigan.
What's up, food bras? So I have a question for Tony B. So, pasta-related question. You're channeling your inner Nona. You're swirling the pasta, butter, cheese, and the pasta water like a pro. And then, bam, your sauce breaks harder than Nona's heart when you bought that jarred Alfredo, right? What did you do wrong? How do you fix it? We don't want her ghost start throwing wooden spoons around here. I need help right now.
That is funny.
I mean, I'm appreciating Shaner's. Thank you, Shaner, for the question. I think Tony could fill that one as well. But
You got any initial thoughts? Because
my initial thoughts is that I'm guessing that Shaner took a couple takes on that one. There was a lot of different. He went a lot of different ways when they just asked the question. But I appreciate that he. I would say, Shaner, please send more questions in because it was he took me on a journey there. I had a picture in my mind of wooden spoons and Nona, and so it was very descriptive. It was almost his question was almost like a Bruce Springsteen song where you're just just there in Jersey, and you're in the car with Mary. I mean, that's what a Shaner question reminds me of. So I'll let Tony jump on this one. This is also not, this is probably not my area of expertise. Tony, do you have something for Shaner here?
Oh, 100%. The hilarious. My first thought. So like he's referring to an Alfredo. He said butter, Parmigiano, pasta water. That's classic. But what was funny to me is the Nona with the jarred Alfredo. Like
channeling your inner Nona.
I'm not I never would go to if I go to anyone's house and they're serving me food, I would never like disrespect, even if I thought it was whack. I also wouldn't lie and be like, that was the but if someone busted out, like they were like, I'm going to make you this pasta with the jarred Alfredo, I would speak up and I'd be like, no. Not that I'm too good for it, but that's just that's the whack because Alfredo is so simple. There's no need for the jarred Alfredo. And I hope I didn't offend you guys. I hope you're not making pasta with jarred Alfredo. Robson!
What
I don't even know what. Let me look this up. What's in jarred Alfredo sauce?
I tell you what. I mean, before
It's butter, Parmigiano, and pasta water. Or if you're making a cream sauce, maybe you got heavy cream, Parmigiano, butter, but that's it. You don't need like
but you need it to sit on the shelf at Kroger for 15 months and not spoil. That's the key.
Yeah, we
That's
need
the hard
whatever
part.
chemicals are in there that keeps it going.
Yeah.
We want those chemicals.
But that's what I'm saying. You don't need that because like it's the most simple. It's the most simple sauce. There is a method now. Now he's talked about the sauce breaking, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
what's that mean? I mean, I didn't pick that. I didn't know what that.
A broken sauce is like if you have an emulsified sauce, something that should be emulsified, meaning it's like fluid throughout. There's no like butter, for example. Butter itself is an emulsification. Butter is like it's milk fat, milk solids, and water. That's what makes butter. And then if it's salted butter, it'd have salt in there too. So butter when you have it, like the stick itself, it's one thing, right? Like it's not like it's like you don't see it as a layer. But if you melt butter too fast, you know how it separates, and like if you do it on a pot or do it in the microwave, it separates. So you're breaking the emulsification, so it's broken. You can taste a broken sauce, like a vinaigrette. If you have like lemon and like oil and vinegar don't want to go together, they're like their properties.
I'm starting to see it.
You know what I'm saying? So like
I'm starting to get it now.
You can taste. It's weird how you can have the same ingredients, but if they're not emulsified, they taste different. They taste broken. You can taste like the tang of the lemon and then the fatty of the olive oil, but they taste like they're not together in harmony.
I've had this happen with I've had coffee break bad. You call it break bad?
Maybe.
So if you have I do what my coffee is we do a decaf black and then just a splash of half and half. If the half and half is close to the expiration date, like it's changing a little bit, it doesn't blend. It breaks, and there's all you see is just a bunch of chunks of like it starts to
coagulates.
Coagulates.
It's like buttermilk.
Excuse me. So, and it's undrinkable. Like it doesn't taste bad, but it's just you get that little. So I guess that's the same kind of concept where it's like you're not getting that sexy blend. You're getting that. It's just a lot of conflict. So.
100%. And that's why broken sauce. You could have the same ingredients, but if it's broken, it's not going to taste right. So Shane, that's his question, right? Is like, how do I fix that? Did I catch that right?
I think so. Is that right, Rob?
Yeah, sounds good to me.
Rob's like, you lost me at milk.
Well, we went from Parmesan and pasta water to decaf coffee, so I got a little lost.
All right. Well, Shane, thank you, Shane. Thank
But
you.
I didn't fix the sauce.
Go ahead, fix the sauce, Tom.
How are we fixing it?
How do we fix it?
It's okay. We can edit it.
No, go ahead, fix the sauce, Tom.
I feel
We
bad
gotta
when
answer
you-
his question. We gotta answer his question. We gotta give him like this.
He's got to emulsify it.
We're getting these questions that are like, Gina calls in, Shane calls in, and we're happy to answer these questions because, it's really all we got. But we have a respectable question from Shane, a respectable question from Gina. Let's give him an answer, Tom. Go ahead. Let's give him.
I'll be super fast. Definitely, Shaner's not buying the jarred Alfredo sauce. But to all the listeners, don't buy that. Melt your butter carefully, slowly. You can make a butter sauce separately. The idea is you put a little water in the pan, cut your butter, dice your butter, and drop it in while you're whisking, little by little chunks of butter to keep it emulsified. You want to keep the butter emulsified first. Then you're gonna add your pasta to the butter, the melted butter, with Parmigiano, and stir that up with a little pasta water, and it's all good. If your sauce breaks, all you need to do, let it cool down slightly, then turn the heat back on, add a little more pasta water, little at a time, and stir and toss your pasta with the pasta water. It'll re-emulsify. It's all good.
There you go.
That's really the main. That's the thing. Don't buy jarred Alfredo.
I think we're gonna
It's too simple.
We as a podcast came out of the closet to actually when we were like we had a bunch of family here for the East. I was like, where is this podcast? These guys.
Who's coming out of the closet?
Tony and I came out of the closet as podcast hosts at the Easter egg hunt. And we're like, all these people are there, and then somehow the podcast
Oh my
came.
God.
And everybody's like, you have a podcast? What's it about? Blah, 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 blah. And people are looking it up on the phones. It's like, it was a lot. And then people said, what kind of questions do you answer? You go, well, you should listen to it before but you should listen to it. But then we were like, I go, well, ask a question. Like there was, I'm not going to name names, but some people was like, they asked a chicken breast question. And I thought.
Oh, it's good. Really good question.
Yeah. And it's like, you know what? We want those kind of questions because it's like we can actually provide. We think that everybody knows this. Like we assume that everybody knows these, but they don't. So it's like we can provide that information. Tone has that. I mean, that's a quick draw for Tone. So
one of the fans of the show that was there. Sorry to interrupt you, man.
Go ahead. Go.
But one of the fans, when the question was going on, and we were just answering. We were out. It's a group of us. The fan of the show was like, "It's like I'm watching a live FoodCast."
Yeah.
He was into it. He loved it.
Yeah, because it was like they're used to seeing, this distance, this digital distance. But I think if we get in person, I would love to get to a point and let's put this on our goal boards. Put this on your goal boards, guys, if you have them ready. Live. We need to get a live podcast with an audience. What do you think of that, Rob? That's something. That's a flight from Arizona to Grand Rapids, I think.
For sure.
Yeah, if we get live. All right, Tom, what's going on?
Here's a goal board. straight up.
Risotto, prosciutto. It's
risotto,
go time.
It's a house party. I want this guy's hair.
Is that Jesus?
It might be.
All right.
I did get that. That was on the goal, and it happened. So.
What's that Jesus? What are you mixing Jesus? Is that a drink you're mixing Jesus?
I'm making them Negroni. I didn't have a Campari, but there's an Aperol and there's a Negroni there. I mean, this was from at least 4 or 5 years ago.
We'll get the goal board out, and we're gonna say live, bruh. Yeah. 2025. We'll get a live episode before 2025. All right, let's go call her for it.
Hi, boys. Just so you know, you guys are my new addiction. Now I am really, really tired of my mom's taco night. It is the same thing every week. We live in rural Indiana, and we could not be any whiter. This is what we have had for the past 10 years. Tortillas, ground beef with the seasoning packet, shredded cheddar, lettuce, diced tomato, diced onion, sour cream, and store-bought salsa. That is it. Seems like an insult to the culture. I have recently taken an interest in cooking, and she allowed me to take over. To up the stakes, she invited the new Colombian family from next door and their gorgeous son to dinner. I want to really impress him, land me a Latin lover, and change taco night forever. How can you help?
That's a great question. Thank you. What was her name, Rob? Sorry.
Her name was Kelly. That was Kelly.
Kelly, Muncie, Indiana. I'm calling from Muncie, Indiana. So she wants. I've had a few of these. I've been guilty of putting on sort of this sort of basic taco night where it's just like ground beef and
it's white people taco night.
White people taco night, where it's like there's no culture involved. It's just basically what do we find at Kroger? And there's 4 or 5 different things. It doesn't go into the culture at all. So, I know that I think this was a good opportunity. When I heard this call, we put the call out to Tone, and Tone put together, which will be up before this thing publishes. You can find it on Spotify. This is the let me see what we named it here. Not Your Mama's Taco Night playlist. And what Tony put together there that's just a start. So we like to put together, we can't answer questions. We can answer questions and all that, but sometimes we think music and food. I'm a big believer music and food go together.
Facts.
Like you're cooking, there got to be music on. You're grilling, there got to be music on. Example, like I can't listen to the Grateful Dead unless it's summer. Then I can listen to the Grateful Dead live outside. I've been also listening to Goose. Getting to Goose a little bit. I don't know if that's for shout out to Dave. Shout out to my ex-neighbor, Dave, was a big Goose guy, and he introduced me to Goose. But I can't listen to it in the winter. I can listen to it the summer. Like, listen to the winter, and I can't get it. But if I'm outside and I'm grilling, I can get into that. So music and food, they go hand in hand, in my opinion. So,
100%.
Tone, what do you think you can do? Obviously, we got the playlist. We're going to post that. But talk about the playlist because you put it together a little bit. And then also, how can you get her some Latin love?
I mean,
and land this and change Taco Night forever. What do you think?
I mean, first, she did mention she's from Colombia. Colombia, right?
That's where the neighbor's from.
That's from the neighbor's from, yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, like, it's tacos. It's Mexican. But anyway, like...
What, Colombians can't have a taco?
No, they absolutely can. I just think she's cute. She was really sweet. She recognizes she was the whitest people in Indiana.
So dude,
that's so funny. God, I love her. But she was like, she recognized it. She wasn't like,
she's doing the best she can with.
Yeah, and no one's gonna all of a sudden like we don't got a quick tip to be like, now you're gonna cook this amazing, authentic Mexican dinner. Like we don't have a quick tip for that. So it's the music. I get why you're.
Let me stop you. I'm sorry. So will she blow it by having tacos and like so if they're Colombian and they come over and they go tacos.
I mean, like, if she's trying to like present it like your mama used to make, like he might be offended, like because he didn't necessarily.
Like we're Colombian. Why would you make tacos? Why would you assume?
That's like when my mom is like trying to be like culturally like on point where she's like, oh, where they were speaking Hispanic. And I'm like, they're not speaking Hispanic, Mom. You're just trying to sound like you're there's the Spanish moms. But yeah, so the playlist. You guys know like corridos? Corridos are like the traditional Mexican music. Like the stuff that you would hear with. They have the band that has like the beautiful singer, and they have guitar, and they have the bass guitar, and then they have like maybe we're maybe. I'm going to be very careful here. Is this close to mariachi, or am I? Yeah, in the lane of, but like that's specific. But absolutely, dude, absolutely. Like traditional Mexican music, great. So currently, like modern times, like they're. I am not an expert. I just love it. I love the Mexican culture and I love this. But in current times, I listen to a ton of reggaeton, like, but that's not necessarily Mexican. Like it's like Puerto Ricans, it might be Colombian, might be like J Balvin, Colombian, you know, like. Mm-hmm. But the corridos currently, so they're doing traditional Mexican music, but it's like the they're talking about is like a rapper, like a current rapper would talk about, like. Doing like gangster stuff, but they're in the traditional style of music. So it's just good. Like Peso Pluma is one artist that's super dope. His cousin, Tito Double P, super dope. But this music is just, it's fun music. It's like laid back traditional Mexican music. Like it's like hardcore, like gangster but like in that sound. And it's super fun. So this playlist is just a fun playlist. Relatively current within the last few years of young dudes, like young artists.
I'm banging it right now while you're.
It's tough, bro.
Any drops here? I mean, can we expect drops? Because I've been to your place I've been to your spot, and you got some drops there. When you I mean, I expect like when you're not in this playlist, but when I'm at your place, I feel like there's some drops that are coming in. Like you build it up, and come to the drops. But I'm hearing this is first. This.
It's a good playlist. Peso Pluma is the dude, in my eyes. But like again, I'm a novice. That's like I'm a white boy. You know what I'm saying? But like I'm hip to the but like not in the underground.
I'm in this now.
When it comes to like hip hop, I go deep. But like,
this is summer feels too. Like I'm getting summer feels here.
So that's why it's what you call it. Not your mom's Taco Tuesday.
Not your mom's Taco
Tuesday. It's explicit. It's not like the traditional corridos. It's the corridos tumbados is what they call it.
I'll give you a count.
Which is
so
like
there's
laid back.
21 songs.
Yeah.
You got a Lady Gaga joint on here too. 21 songs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
The song's called Lady
13,
Gaga, right?
14, 15, 16, 17. 18 of the 21 songs are explicit. So this is definitely not your. This is definitely not your mama's playlist.
No, it's a good playlist, straight up. Like
so we get that we put that playlist on. The Colombian sun comes over. So what does she do?
She's trying to woo him.
She's trying to woo him. So what does she do in the kitchen? What's the kitchen portion of this? Because that's playing.
It's more. Again, she's not gonna all of a sudden be like an amazing cook because it sounds like she's not. So it's more of the vibes. That's why the playlist is key. Probably what she's wearing. Like, be party time. Be sexy. Like, be what you're comfortable with. Where you're naturally comfortable. So you're like that's hot. You know, it's hot when you're like self-confident with it. I'm sure
her dad
hip movement. She can move her hips while she's cooking the.
I'm sure her dad loves this advice.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I'm sure her dad loves this advice in Muncie, Indiana, and then
her dad's invited to Not Your Mom's Taco Tuesday with the Colombian guy?
I mean, I don't know if I don't know that. I don't know if we got that deep, but I'm saying if dad is around, I mean, if I'm dad,
Lo siento.
And then my daughter's, got a skirt hiked up to the bottom of her, and we have what's this guy's name? Peso Pluma, effing and Jeff. Peso Pluma's effing and jeffing all over Taco Tuesday when I got to work the next morning. So I'm thinking about as a dad, I'm thinking about dad in this situation. But I guess he's just got to roll with it and stop being such a square, right?
Yeah, Poindexter.
Yeah, maybe he needs to step it up for mom.
I think so.
Get the tequila going.
He's got to be tired of being super white in Indiana.
He's probably in. He's been doing warm tortillas, ground beef with the packet, shredded cheese, lettuce, diced tomato, diced onion, sour cream, and store-bought sauce. I mean, that is as white as it gets. So, so anything in the food department, or you just think you're saying put?
I mean, you want ideas? This is going to take us over an hour.
Well, throw her a couple quick ones, and then we'll get to the last section here. But a couple quick, like what?
Ground beef is all right. Like that's a good, especially if it's a Tuesday, so it's a weekend. I do ground beef tacos, and there's nothing wrong with that. Just get some love to it. Like get some onions going, some garlic. Good beef that's got like an 80-20. You gotta get some fat content. Brown that shit, and then add some like you don't need to get like just the packet. Get some like you don't have to like have dried chiles. You can get like good ancho powder, guajillo powder.
I think you're
some comino, like some Mexican oregano. Grind that shit on there, and then agua, and then like let that simmer really slow. You can make amazing ground beef tacos. Just it's all about like just like with Alfredo earlier. It's not like it's complicated. Learn a basic thing like in the just do it the right way. It's not about like being complicated. It's about just doing something properly.
Yeah, I think
we need more episodes of just cooking. What are we doing here?
I know.
Where's the stove?
We're actually getting more technical, I think, and I'm liking this a lot.
I was
better.
trying not to.
No. I think that like just getting some feedback in here. Like I think that the feedback that I have heard from multiple people is just like we want to hear more about food. So I like this, and we're going to give the people what they want. But I mean, you're always, like it or not,
You see how
listeners,
excited
you're
I get?
always going to get top 5 cruise fits. You're always going to get that. Is always going to get. You're always going to get why we figured out Tony is NMS13. Like this is not just going to be technically food. I think you're on it though, and where I think that you take the shortcut of the packet is where it goes wrong. When you go to the packet is the shortcut. But really, everything that you have there, all you have to do is get that base, right? You get that protein base and dress up that protein base, then you can. You've taken it above. You've taken it to the next level just from that.
There's an appreciation that this guy who she's trying to get with is going to see, like she's putting some love into it. It's not like, you know what I mean, with some confidence. It's all about the confidence. She could do it with the packet with some confidence, but without the packet, you can have a few ingredients on hand that's going to more impress someone if she's trying to make an impression. And it's going to just show that she put some care into it, and it's just going to taste better because of that.
Yeah, I think
that's what it comes out. But confidence with the all-right food.
If I'm trying to get the sounds like I'm going to put her age at probably, what do you think? 23? Yeah, I'm feeling like my man from Colombia. It doesn't matter if she throws, a bowl of cereal in front of him. If she's shaking,
he's good looking. Have you ever met someone from Colombia who's not good looking?
I mean, I think they're all pretty. It's like it's almost like Brazil.
Oh my God, Anthony Bourdain said something about like in Brazil like that. He said like even the ugliest person is way more good looking than he is.
Yeah,
like it's like come on.
So he's
they're just. All that beautiful.
I don't think she has. I mean, in and I'll go here. I mean, I can't give the food advice, but I think you put that playlist on. I think you take Tony's advice. You maybe don't go. Muncie, Indiana. I don't think we need those straight leg Levi's. You put those away. Go on in the back, get the dress, get a little flavor going. Maybe flour in the hair. Is that too far?
Go for the flour in the hair, and just cut out the store-bought salsa completely.
Cut it out.
You might as well just dice up some fresh tomatoes. That's way better. If you're not even going to make a salsa, just F that. And then the sour cream. Sour cream's all good, but you can make it a crema. Like, put the sour cream in a bowl, add a little milk, and whisk it really fast, and just make it creamier and looser. Those couple little just do a couple things differently, and it's just going to be a little bit more special.
Well, and what if we set it off with? What if we just set it off with? Because we haven't talked about on Not Your Mama's Taco Tuesday.
The playlist. Start from the top.
No, I'm saying if we're calling this Taco Tuesday and we're setting it off, you got to get the drinks. I mean, they're next door; they don't have to drive. Let's do the margarita. Let's get some shots. Let's get something
what's up?
To set it off.
Do the traditional margarita. Cointreau, lime, simple syrup, tequila. Great. But just do a Tommy's margarita. I think it's more impressive because it's more like simple. Agave syrup. So you do 1 part or 3/4 ounce. I like to do a 3/4 ounce agave syrup, 3/4 ounce to 1 ounce lime, and then a reposado tequila, 2 ounce. Do that ratio, shake that. Just raw ice. You don't need a fancy. So I like to do 3/4 ounce agave syrup. So no Cointreau. You don't need simple syrup, but get agave syrup. This is a Tommy's margarita. So it's Tommy's margarita comes out of I forget which bar it comes. I don't know if that's. I think it's a bar in California that it originated. The bartender's name's Tommy or something. There's some history there. I don't know exactly. But Tommy's margarita is it's simple, but it's so good. If you got a decent tequila, nothing fancy. So 3/4 ounce. This is the ratio I like. 3/4 ounce agave syrup. Not dark brown agave syrup. It's just like a medium brown agave syrup. 1 ounce lime. 2 ounce tequila reposado. You're going to get a little bit of barrel flavor from the reposado. Shake that hard with ice. Pour it open gate, meaning you're not straining it, just open gated because it's fun to have the little shards of ice in there because this is like a raw one, but with the And then you serve that with a little lime wedge that goes with it, because in case you want to add more. You know that when a bartender serves you a drink and they give you a lime wedge, they want you to be able, like, that's an option where you can squirt it into your drink if it's a wedge.
Not just a garnish.
It's if you want it a little bit more limey, and I think that's why it's like I don't want it too sweet with a 1 ounce of agave syrup or 1 ounce lime. I like 3/4 ounce agave, but regardless, that's a perfect Tuesday night margarita because it's simple, 3 ingredients.
That's, I think, where the directs, because my problem with the margarita, like a mixed one, like I was using those mixes and it just it's too much.
Too much.
It's covering up the tequila, but and this is, I mean, cut right here, like we'll edit here. This is a perfect time. Like if we had that over the head cam, I would go, all right, give me that, and then I would throw one down right now just to mix it up and live taste it. If we weren't, but we'll look at that. We'll look at that down the road.
There's so much. There's so many.
Tommy's margarita, I like that.
Tommy's margarita is a classic, not the classic margarita, but that's a good go-to. That's especially for a Tuesday, Taco Tuesday. With
I think that's a great. I think she's landing her Latin lover.
Yeah. Come on.
I think that's a win.
Confidence.
So, Kelly, I keep forgetting Kelly's name. Kelly from Muncie, Indiana. There you go. Hopefully that helped out. Now, I think that's it, Rob. That's it for calls, right? Is that all the calls we have here? Anybody else call in? Anybody call while we've been recording?
I have not. No.
Oh, okay. All right. There's always a chance. All right. So this is a new. We're gonna close out here, but this is sort of we'll call it a new segment. We're gonna call this Bra's Kitchen, and we might work on that because it's kind of simple and probably needs punched up a little bit. But for now, we're calling it Bra's Kitchen. And in our world, in our podcast world here, we're not just providing you laughs till you can't stand anymore, or food advice that you're going to tell all of your coworkers about. But what we're going to do is we're going to actually bring, how do I say this? We're going to bring the product to you. So Bra Kitchen is sort of like Bra Labs. In the lab, Tony is in the lab and he's testing. He's got the beakers out. He's got flavors sampling. So what we have talked about is we want to release a sauce. So we want to come out with our own branded sauce. And we kicked a few things around. So my first idea was, I think it was, hey Tony, can you do a ketchup? And he was like, I don't want to do a ketchup.
Ketchup wasn't speaking to me. Like, it's not part of my.
It wasn't your spirit animal at that point.
Ketchup's great as it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, like it's hard to beat that. So I said, what about a ketchup? And you were like, I don't really want to work on a ketchup. So he has come up with something, and I don't know anything about this because we were going to try to cover this in 5, and we ran over in 5, so we're gonna get enough time here in 6. So we're not going to release too much. But Tony, you want to talk about? You want to give us a little bit of a preview of what the listeners can expect? Is sort of this will be the first launch of once we. There's a long way to go, so I mean, just hold on. And I think what we'll do is open up maybe a newsletter, or we'll open up an interest newsletter on the website. That if you are interested, sign up, and then you'll get the latest updates of when this is available. But Tony, go ahead and give us a little, because I don't know anything. You've been in the lab.
Yeah.
Restless nights just working on this sauce. What have you come up with with us here? What do we?
When you first we were kind of just brainstorming about my mind goes, I love sauces in general, and I'm thinking like all the different Italian sauces I do, or Mexican. This is what I studied. French sauces. This is what I studied throughout. Like my love for food and creation. But you mentioned ketchup, and I was like, all right, like it was funny to me, but at the same time, that's not wrong. Ketchup is a great condiment. So I was thinking condiments. And then we also talk about there's so many hot sauces.
Right.
One of the movies that my kids, it's a go-to. I have little kids. They're I shouldn't say that because they listen to this. They're not little kids. They're kids. They're 7, 10, and 12. But a movie they love is Cheaper by the Dozen. Do you know Cheaper by the Dozen? You probably know like I don't know if you know the old school one, but you know probably the Steve Martin versions of Cheaper by the Dozen. They're like early 2000s, I guess.
Steve Martin.
2000. Yes, but then there's a newer version with Zach Braff.
Okay.
Do you know what I'm talking about? You know Zach Braff that was on Scrubs?
I know Zach Braff, yeah.
Rob, do you know this?
Yeah, I'm familiar.
So it's there's a family movie. It's like a remake of Cheaper by the Dozen.
Okay.
And they're the Baker family, and they have all these kids. And Zach Braff owns this like breakfast restaurant, and that's how he meets his wife. And it's cute, and it's a lighthearted movie, but it's a good family movie. But his whole thing of it is like he wants to make this sauce. He has a breakfast place, but he's like, I want to create this sauce that's sweet and savory and spicy, and it's all at the same time. And I was like, when I'm watching the movie, this is way before bruh. I'm like, I could come up with a ton of those type of sauces. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like this guy, but he makes it and it's a hit. And that sauce then it ends up, I don't want to spoiler, but he makes the sauce and it's a hit on the movie. But I was like, I could make a million of these, but I came up with honestly, like, I did this for pizza night. I was like, let me make my wife, she loves a sauce. Her favorite go-to pizza is olives, pepperoni, a little bit spicy, so some, like, red chili flakes, like a chili oil is usually what I would do for it, just like a chili olive oil, dried chilies, and that's, like, her favorite go-to pizza. But I was like, let me step this up and let me make a sauce. So I made a sauce that it's spicy, sweet, also savory, and it's been a hit for around my household for the last few months. It's actually 6-7 months probably. So I came up and I've developed and I made it into so we do have a sauce made that's official. Like I've experimented, and it's, you know, as much as I'm like playing it down, I've trialed and errored ratios of stuff, and I think I've come up with a winner. This is
so you're saying that we are even past testing, and you think that we are almost the final product. This is it.
I've got some ideas of names and things, but we're gonna have to go through that with the bros to
we'll take that into we'll take that in. That's a different
department. It's still at the early stage but it's there. The sauce is made.
Okay, so let me just clarify now. So where would we see this sauce on? Is this a pizza sauce? Is this something I put on a hamburger?
So
where are we going to see this?
I said that wrong. It is not a pizza sauce. It's a condiment, straight up. But like I did say, it's amazing on pizza. Mm-hmm. It's amazing on eggs. It's amazing. I feel like I need to make this rhyme like it's Dr. Seuss right here. No. It's amazing on legs. It's amazing for. It's amazing for. Gotta edit that one out. But like, Dr. Seuss. But it's purely a condiment. It's something you would add. You would drip it on. Mm-hmm. I would not put it on Alfredo.
Would you say it could be a dipper?
It could absolutely 100% be a dipper. Amazing on pizza. You mentioned burger. Amazing on a burger, a brat, anything barbecue-y. Tonight, we used some tonight on like a stir fry I did. It was just like the kids don't always want spicy. Carrie and I want a little spicy, so it was like, put on a sauce.
So it sounds like this is
super
high,
universal.
High heat yield. It sounds like you've developed something in the lab that has a high heat yield if you're using it in stir. Is it post stir fry, like before you cook or before you hit the heat?
Yeah. Oh, you could, but no. It's meant to be an add-on. It's meant to be like you could just have whatever finished product you have and add it as a condiment. It's a condiment purely. It's not meant to be here. This is the sauce. Put it in your pot and then cook it. No, it's a finished product. It's an add-on kind of. I think it's super fun.
I can hear the mouths watering.
Yeah,
I can hear all of the mouths watering because you teased it, you showed it, And now it's out. Now, I don't know if we're going to show it again. We're going to talk about just sort of the journey. I think step 2 is maybe, ooh, one more time. Just one more time. Okay, good. We're good. All right. I'm done. Thank you. I just needed that last one to thank you. So next episode, we're going to talk about, I think we're going to do a live taste test. I think that would be, we try to get one out to Rob, get me, and then I don't know, Rob, maybe we'll get the sauce. And then what do you suggest, Tone? Maybe we'll get a burger or something? Maybe a little takeout, get that.
I would totally say let's keep it like anything. It might be more fun just to say, the possibilities are endless, but completely pizza topping, barbecue, burger, anything that you just would naturally add any sauce to, it totally works. It's really good. It's not mind-blowingly spicy. That's why I want to say it's a hot sauce. It's not a hot sauce. Yes, it's spicy, but it's really. I feel like I nailed the Zach Braff. It's edging on all of the what you want. Spicy, sweet, savory. You know what might be fun? I've come up, and I haven't run it by any of you, but it might be fun to come up with like our top 3 names. Like once we narrow it down, our top 3 names, and have the listeners vote to the.
That's a good idea. Yeah,
maybe just an idea. Sorry
they decide. No. I think that's a great idea. We come up with sort of 3 or survey that out and see. This is, what do you guys want? What do you think you can name this? So, all right. Well, that's. I think we cut it off. I think we've teased it enough. I think we've teased. The Bra Kitchen. That's the first one, and I'm excited I'm really excited to get my hands on that. And get a bottle of that and get that going. Because I'm thinking eggs. That's where I'm jumping. Like bowl with. What I like to do is I do an egg with potatoes and you get all that mixed up and maybe.
Dude. Yes.
Because my go-to is sriracha.
A little skillet, a breakfast skillet with this joint.
I've been sriracha in the game, and it's just it's getting tired. I'm
getting delicious. Love sriracha.
I love it, but I'm
in
tired.
That lane. Yeah.
So all right. Well, let's wrap. I think we're there. I think we'll do our closing notes. Rob, you have anything? Are we good? Everything looking good on the? I see. Everything looks good on the upload. Tone, you have anything to close out with?
No, those are some really good callers, I'd have to say.
I know. Keep the calls coming. I'll put that in these last little notes here. But all right, let's close out here. Podcast, BRUH podcast.com. Voicemails. Thank you to all of our callers. Keep those voicemails coming. I said in the previous, I think I said in the in episode 5, I was looking at the edits of episode 5, and I said something. I think it was a little aggressive when I was talking about don't send in a question about which side of the toast, what's al dente. If you have those questions, send them in. Don't listen to me. I was getting a little bitter. If you have questions, send them in.
You're cutting out potential questions.
I'm cutting out
filtering.
Just don't listen. If you have a question, send it in. Sometimes I get a little grumpy. We're waiting for spring here in Michigan, and sometimes you get a little grumpy. So if you have a question, send it in. If you, like I said, you go on the website, brapodcast.com. You can buy merch. You can leave a voicemail. You can listen to the audio podcasts are there. You can get pretty much anywhere. You can join our Patreon, where there's not much really going on in Patreon right now, but we just ask you to subscribe because you're going to get a lot of little extra features there with the Patreon if you're a Patreon member. So sign up for that. The same thing with advertising. If there's something that like I said, we're under the YouTube threshold. So we are looking for if you're an advertiser, and I'll say it again. This I'm not going back on. If your product is not, then we will sponsor it. And we'll have you on. So write in if you have those. If you want to be on the show, if you if you're in the food space, if you have a product and you want to be on and you want to come on and talk about your product, we're open to that too. So engagement, last thing is like, follow, subscribe, all of your platforms. We just ask one friend. If you have one friend, one coworker, a family member, anything, you just say, hey, we listen to the bras. I mean, they answer all types of questions. I mean, you throw any question at them, they're not saying no to anything at this point. So by evidence of Barry, our first caller. So yeah, I think that's it. Anything else, boys? We got it all covered. I think we knocked this one out of the park. Anything else that I'm missing, or are we all good?
I think we need to unravel the Rob father a little bit more.
I'm thinking this is like
we just learned. I don't know. Before this started, listeners, we learned a lot more about Rob. Rob is.
If we have one thing here in this show, it's bits, and we love bits. So I'm telling you, we're going to start. There's going to be sort of like it's just to be like one little thing that we're going to learn about Rob. So I'm working on something that Rob's going to come like Rob's secrets, because he is. You're right, Tone. If you
sunned us quick at the beginning.
If you binge watch this, you learn a little bit more about Rob, and you know, I don't know if we'll talk to Rob if he wants that out, but he's hosting a radio show nightly in Arizona. So you guys from Jersey, New York originally. I forget where it was. Long Island. He's from New York originally, and then he's hosting a show 5 nights a week. He's got these little morsels of secrets, but we're going to uncover each one of them. We're gonna
braggadocious either. Just it's like subtle.
No,
like,
you know,
what?
I know. I host a show 5 nights a week. So I mean,
yeah.
So we're gonna uncover more about Rob. I think we're gonna dig in a little bit deeper. Maybe just a Rob episode. We'll see how.
Rob, what say you? Do you have a synopsis of what we just talked about?
Yeah, I've lived many lives. We'll just.
I love that. That's a good answer.
We got to do a Rob episode, because I think Rob's got. It's also got to dig into some of Rob's contacts there. I think Rob's got some connections back there in Strong Island, and even in Arizona, because Arizona. I mean, I saw a commercial. I was watching baseball. I think Arizona's a pretty big foodie area, if I'm not mistaken. Like they have that sort of, I guess, that sort of southwestern influence down there, and I'm sure that Arizona is bringing the game in terms of. Well, you both live there, so I mean, you could speak on that. So I think we got plenty of areas to cover. But for now,
straight up.
Let's close this out. I think this was a good episode 6. Like I said. BroadPodcast.com, like, subscribe, and then Rob, play us out. Boys, thank you again. Have yourself a wonderful week, and we'll see you at episode 7.
We got the flavors that make you